Hey photographer, Jessica Whitaker here. In this video, I'll be comparing an 85mm lens against a 135mm lens and answering the question, which one should you buy that's gonna work best in your photography business? Thank you to KEH Camera for sponsoring this video. KEH is where you can buy, sell, trade in, and repair your camera gear, both film and digital. And both of these lenses are actually from KEH. The 85mm is one that I recently purchased off their website. I'll talk more about KEH later on in the video, but I do have a discount code and a selling bonus if you're interested. Now, with all of my videos, I teach from a very simple and practical perspective. I want you to leave this video feeling empowered with a decision on which lens is best for you, not left scratching your head feeling even more confused and overwhelmed with technical jargon. And to make it easy, I'll share a handful of sample images where I am shooting the same model in the same spot, just swapping out both lenses. And one thing to note is that I do shoot on Canon, but the brand name is irrelevant in this video because we are just going to be focusing on the focal length. To begin, I want to hit 4 different points and then I will share why I like each lens and what I would personally recommend them for. Let's start off by talking about the focal length, which is the number that is labeled on the lens and what we refer the lens to. So the 85mm is the focal length and the 135mm is the focal length. The focal length simply determines the field of view and the magnification of the subject. So an 85mm has a wider field of view than a 135mm. And because it has a wider field of view, and because the 85mm is wider than the 135, you're naturally able to capture more of the environment in the photo than you do with a 135. So the 135mm has a more narrow field of view, which helps isolate the subject. So the 135mm has a much more compressed field of view, which allows for that isolation in the portraits when you were shooting on a very shallow depth of field. So let's talk about next depth of field. So with the depth of field, that would be the aperture or the f-stop on your camera. So the 85mm can go down to 1.2, which is a very shallow depth of field, super blurry and gorgeous. The 135 from Canon goes down to 2.5, but you can definitely get other options out there. So when you are shooting wide open, where you are shooting at 1.2, then that allows even more isolation between the background and the subject. And when you combine it with a focal length like an 85 or a 135, it is even more pronounced than something on like a 35mm or a 50mm, where you are getting much more of the environment, the background in focus. Number 3, let's talk about distance. So this is how far away you as the photographer have to stand from your subject. So with an 85 and a 135, you are going to be quite far away from the subject, but more so with the 135 because it is a longer focal length. You are also going to be limited on where you can shoot with both of these lenses, but you are the most limited with a 135 because you have to scoot so much further back. So for example, if you are somebody who is a branding photographer and you are going to be doing some photos in a coffee shop, the 135mm, you are going to have to be across the street to be able to get a full body shot of your client in the coffee shop. It is just not practical. When it comes to you're shooting out in a field, you're outside, you're at the beach, you're not limited by distance, then either of these lenses is going to be fine, but you are going to have to most likely shout to your subject when you're using something like a 135. And it's just something to keep in mind. I don't view it as a pro or a con if you are flexible with your locations, but if you are a photographer who shoots indoors a lot, or you shoot inside of a studio or peer spaces where you can go and you book somebody's house or their own studio and you don't really know what you're walking into when it comes to the actual dimensions of the room, right? You're not going to want to just have an 85 or a 135 with you because you might run into the problem that you're not actually going to be able to use it because the space is simply too tight. The last point that I want to talk about is the compression of these lenses. A 135 lens tends to compress the elements in the frame. It can flatten the subject's features, and it also minimizes distortion. If you're having a hard time though seeing the difference, then I want you to look at the ground in these images. The ground is so much more flattened out and like popped out than the 85mm example. I've always said, and this is my personal opinion, but I believe that the 85mm, the best way I can describe it is how our human vision perceives a subject. It looks the closest to real life. With a 135mm, where the subject is being very flattened out, and this isn't always the most flattering for close-up portrait photography, in my opinion. It's going to come down to personal preference on what you think looks the best, but to me, I prefer a 135mm for full body portraits, but not for close-up. Now let's talk about why I personally like the 85mm and why I like the 135mm. And both of these lenses are from KEH, who is sponsoring this video. And so many photographers within my Build and Bloom photography Facebook group have raved about their experience with KEH. So I have been borrowing off and on an 85mm from them for tutorials, and I finally purchased my own that is now part of my kit. And I actually purchased the bargain version of this lens, and it came with a little bit of a ding on the rim, but it doesn't actually affect the picture quality. And because of this little piece of wear and tear, I was able to save hundreds of dollars on the lens. So with KEH, everything that goes through their warehouse is thoroughly quality inspected, unlike something on a social media marketplace or third-party auction site where you are just blindly trusting the independent seller. With KEH, there is a thorough quality inspection, and then everything is ranked on their website transparently, where you can see if it's excellent plus, which is essentially like new, all the way down to bargain, which is what I bought this 85mm lens in. Better on your wallet and for the environment. And if you are wanting to get into film photography this summer, especially, become super popular for film photography or for little point and shoot photos like the Canon G7X with flash, I know that's super popular right now, you can get it used on KEH. And if you have a lens that's been collecting dust in your closet, or you're wanting to upgrade to mirrorless, you can also sell on KEH. So I will have a coupon code for buying and a selling bonus if you sell on KEH, linked down below and also on the screen here. Bookmark KEH for later because it is an incredible resource, and so many members of my photography community, Build and Bloom, have used, shopped, and loved KEH just as much as I have. So thank you again to KEH for sponsoring this video. Let's talk now about why I love both lenses. My all-time favorite lens at the moment and for the past year has been the 85mm. As someone who mainly does branding photography and engagement photography, the 85mm lens is not something that I would deem as a necessity, but it's something that I do reach for multiple times during a photo shoot. It does an incredible job executing super creamy, flattering portrait photography. Here's the thing with both lenses, they are not a necessity when you are just starting out in your business. I recommend having something like a 50mm and or a 35mm first, because those are going to be the most versatile when it comes to that working distance. But if you are a portrait photographer or a wedding photographer, I do think that getting one of these, an 85 or 135 as your next purchase, could be a smart idea. And like I said, we're not talking about brands here. This is a Canon, it's a 1.2, which is a more expensive tier. There's 3 different tiers of the Canon, 1.2, 1.4, and 1.8. Go for the cheaper option, 1.8, if you are on a limited budget, but you do have the ability to add a new lens to your collection, like you might when you're watching this video. You're trying to decide which should I do next. You don't have to jump for that highest tier, especially if you're going to be able to save a significant amount of money with something that is on that lower tier. If you already own a wider focal length, like a 50mm or a 35, or even a zoom like a 24-70, and you do a ton of portrait photography, I do believe that this can be a great investment into your business because it can improve the quality of your work because of the depth of field and focal length together. Actually, both lenses can, because they can create an effect for your portraits that the other lenses in your collection cannot do, but you need to use wisdom when making a purchasing decision. Let's talk about why I like the 135mm lens. I do not own it, and I do not have any plans to own it simply because of the type of photography that I do, branding photography and engagements. The 135mm lens is a really fun lens to have in your kit, but I would simply not reach for it enough in a photo shoot to be able to justify it, and it really won't be able to create anything for me that I can't do with my 85. The 135 is fantastic for those super shallow depth of field, creamy portraits. You have a college graduate, you have a high school graduate, you have a kid, a newborn, and you just really want the focus to be entirely on them. They're out in a field in golden hour and it just looks like a painting. That is the kind of effect you can create with a 135 when it comes to portrait photography. Again, these lenses can do so much more than what I'm just talking about in this video, but I want to simplify it for those who are trying to decide what they should buy when it comes to their portrait photography. Let's wrap it up by talking about which one I think that you should purchase. The thing is, there's not a definitive better between the two. I believe it comes down to personal preference and then also where you shoot. Are you outside a lot of the times? Then you have the flexibility to use a 135 almost always, right? But if you are somebody who shoots indoors more, an 85 might be a wiser choice for you. I don't think that you need to have both of these lenses by any means. Both of these lenses can create really beautiful imagery. Ultimately, they are two different tools that are going to yield different results. So depending on the effect you want to create, for me personally, as someone who does branding and engagement photography, I would go for an 85mm. I would not be purchasing a 135mm because I would not be able to get my money's worth. But if you're a portrait photographer and you do a lot of portraits and family sessions and you already own something like a 50mm, I would say skip the 85 and add that 135 to your kit because it's going to be able to produce those results. I'm gonna throw up now a handful of side-by-side comparison images so you can see and pause and look through, and I will also have them laid out in a blog post format down below in the description box, as well as a link to save and to shop on KEH. Photographer, I hope that this video empowered you to make the best choice for your business. And if you did end up deciding between the lenses, let me know in the comments below. And I've also recently launched season 2 of the Build and Bloom Photography podcast. So I mentioned my Facebook group, Build and Bloom, earlier on in this video, and this is my best free resource. This Facebook group is kind, it's encouraging, and it's inclusive, and it's the best place to ask questions about your specific business. So whether you need help drafting an email response to a really difficult client situation, search up Build and Bloom on Facebook groups, and there's also that Build and Bloom Photography podcast available to listen and learn wherever you get your podcasts. Be sure to hit subscribe so you're the first to know when new free videos for your photography business come out, and I will see you over in my next video. Click right here to watch and to learn. I'll see you there.